For every happy ending, there is a beginning. Ben and Lorana's journey together began last May at the office of the home health care company where they worked together. Lorana was hired as a speech-language pathologist, and Ben worked in the office. Now, from the very first moment that Ben saw Lorana walk into the office, thoughts, ideas, and strategies about getting to know her began running through his mind.
Look at, she's smart, she's hot, she goes to college, she works at a crap shack like this one. What does that tell you? Just off the top of your head.
She's got low standards?
Exactly. Use that to your advantage before she figures it out, all right? Because she will, I'm telling you.
Lorana's initial thoughts about Ben were perhaps just a little simpler.
Hello, sexy.
Now, although with Ben's unique style and longer hair and ponytail at the time, she really wasn't quite sure that perhaps Ben wasn't maybe just a little crazy.
I'm not crazy. My mother had me tested.
Now, there was definitely some chemistry from the moment they met. Lorana was dating someone else at the time, however, so Ben would have to wait 5 months before the opportunity to ask Lorana for a date.
Aww.
Finally, Ben had his chance, and Lorana agreed to meet him for happy hour dinner and drinks. However, Lorana managed to get off a little early that day, so they arranged to meet even earlier. Wow, 2 dates in one day. Ben knew that he was on a winning streak. So naturally, he wanted to pull out all the stops, leave absolutely nothing to chance. So for their first lunch date, Ben took Lorana out for fine dining at its very best, Panda Express. And Lorana paid the check. Okay, hold on. I did say there were 2 dates that day. So later on in the evening, Ben treated Lorana to dinner and drinks at Cerveza, where the combination of dinner, beer, and margaritas would eventually help Ben overcome his nervousness and his overuse of the word whatchamacallit when he couldn't quite get the words out.
Sounds good. What do you call it? Whatchamacallit. Whatchamacallit. That's right. What's right? The name. What name? Whatchamacallit. You forgot the name?
Now, as a speech therapist, Lorana was probably trying to determine whether Ben was to be her new boyfriend or her new patient. But fortunately for Ben, she found it to be cute, so boyfriend it was.
You know, before this is over, I'm going to need a whole lot of serious therapy.
From then on, things moved swiftly. One evening at Ben's, they were watching, or shall I say attempting to watch the movie The Conjuring, but they both wimped out.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am planning to scream and run.
And switched to a funny movie instead. However, this created just the right atmosphere and moment for Ben to tell Lorana just how he was feeling.
Boy, those lovely lips. Those red, inviting, luscious lips, like 2 strips of liver gleaming in the moonlight.
Smooth words, which understandably led to their very first kiss. Love was in the air. Now, only a short time later, Ben's sister made the comment that Lorana would make an awesome sister, which, upon thinking about it, started both Ben and Lorana thinking about how their relationship had the potential of being long-term and perhaps even more. Let's move ahead to February 23rd of this year. Ben and Lorana were visiting the Renaissance Festival near Phoenix, and in fact, they were totally decked out and dressed in character. Now, as the early evening was coming to a close and they began to exit, Ben asked Lorana to hold the souvenirs while they walked, and he talked about how special she was and how much he loved her. All the while, Ben fumbled around in his satchel for something he knew was in there, and finally, when Ben was sure he found what he was looking for, with a crowd of visitors and cast members surrounding them, Ben kneeled down on one knee and recited those magic, powerful words that every woman wants to hear.
Don't you understand? How could I marry you? Me, the symbol of bachelorhood.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
Lorana, will you marry me?
Ah, much better. Now, Lorana already knew she had found what she was looking for, a tall man with a short name. However, she was definitely caught off guard and was a little shocked and perhaps a little frightened by the crowd and the surroundings, which led to a brief out-of-body experience. But before returning and giving Ben the answer he was hoping to hear.
You're smart. You're kind. You're the sweetest man I've ever met. And you're my best friend. You make me happier than anyone I've ever known.
A journey that began more than a year ago has been sealed today in a promise of a continuing saga where you can rest assured there will never be a dull moment. All because on that unforgettable evening in February, Lorana said yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin Sype.